In the annals of music history, few names resonate with the power and mystique of Michael Jackson. He was a phenomenon, a global superstar whose talent transcended boundaries and defined an era. His journey began far from the glittering stages, in a small, industrial town, a testament to a destiny waiting to unfold. This is the story of a boy from Gary, Indiana, who would become the undisputed king of pop, a legend whose life was as complex as his artistry was profound. Our story begins in Gary, Indiana, on August 29, 1958. Michael Joseph Jackson was born into a large, working-class family, the seventh of 10 children to Joseph and Catherine Jackson. The modest two-bedroom house at 2300 Jackson Street bustled with life, dreams, and the inescapable sound of music. It was here, amidst the steel mills and quiet streets, that the seeds of a musical dynasty were sown, though the path would be anything but ordinary. Joseph Jackson, Michael's father, was a crane operator with a strong ambition for his children and a keen ear for music. He recognized the raw talent within his sons and meticulously molded them into a performing group. Rehearsals were intense, often lasting for hours, punctuated by strict discipline. This environment, while fostering unparalleled musical prowess, also laid the foundation for a complicated relationship between Michael and his father, one marked by both respect and deep-seated fear. From a very young age, Michael's extraordinary talent was undeniable. He began performing publicly at age 5, captivating audiences with his precocious voice and magnetic stage presence. While other children played, Michael rehearsed. While others attended school, Michael was often on the road. This early immersion into the demanding world of entertainment meant a childhood, by conventional standards, was largely sacrificed for the relentless pursuit of musical perfection and a nascent stardom. Initially, his older brothers, Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine, formed a group known as the Jackson Brothers. But it was Michael and Marlon's inclusion that truly ignited their spark. Michael, with his incredible vocal range and natural charisma, quickly became the focal point. The group, later known as the Jackson 5, began playing local clubs and talent shows, honing their craft in front of increasingly larger audiences, fueled by Joseph's unwavering vision. Their local reputation grew rapidly, eventually catching the attention of Motown Records. Legend has it that Bobby Taylor of the Vancouvers brought them to Berry Gordy's attention. After a successful audition, the Jackson 5 signed with Motown in 1968, a move that would catapult them from the industrial streets of Gary to the global stage. This was the moment the Jackson family's sacrifices and Joseph's relentless drive began to pay off in spectacular fashion. The year 1969 marked an explosive debut for the Jackson 5. Their first 4 singles, I Want You Back, ABC, The Love You Save, and I'll Be There, all soared to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100. Michael, barely a teenager, was an instant sensation, a charismatic dynamo whose voice and dance moves belied his years. The Jackson 5 became a cultural phenomenon, a symbol of youthful joy and unparalleled musical talent, with Michael at its heart. Even amidst the Jackson 5's monumental success, Motown recognized Michael's unique potential as a solo artist. In the early 1970s, he began releasing solo material, scoring hits like Ben and Rockin' Robin. These early forays hinted at the boundless creativity brewing within him, separate from his brothers. It was a delicate balance, navigating collective group identity while simultaneously nurturing an individual voice destined for even greater heights, a seed for future independence. Despite their unparalleled success, the Jackson 5 felt increasingly stifled by Motown. They desired more creative control over their music, wishing to write and produce their own material, a freedom largely denied by Berry Gordy. Michael, especially, sought to evolve beyond the bubblegum pop image. This creative friction, coupled with financial disagreements, ultimately led to a pivotal decision that would reshape their careers and set Michael on a new course. In 1975, the Jackson 5 made a momentous leap, leaving Motown for Epic Records, a division of CBS. This move was not without its complications, as Motown retained the rights to the Jackson 5 name. The group rebranded as the Jacksons, and for Michael, it represented a vital step towards artistic liberation. It was a clear signal that he, and his brothers, were determined to chart their own creative destiny, beyond the shadow of their initial mentor. The true harbinger of Michael's solo brilliance arrived in 1979 with Off the Wall. Produced by the legendary Quincy Jones, this album was a groundbreaking fusion of disco, funk, soul, and pop. It spawned multiple hit singles, including Don't Stop Till You Get Enough and Rock With You, earning Michael critical acclaim and commercial success independent of his brothers. It was a declaration of artistic maturity, an album that firmly established him as a singular force. With Off the Wall, Michael Jackson asserted an unprecedented level of creative control for an artist of his generation. He co-wrote several tracks and meticulously crafted his sound, breaking free from the constraints that defined his early career. This album wasn't just a collection of songs, it was a statement of intent, a powerful assertion of his artistic vision, proving he was not merely a performer but a true auteur, poised to revolutionize pop music. The world was not ready for what came next. In 1982, Michael Jackson released Thriller, an album that would shatter all previous sales records and redefine the music industry. It wasn't just an album, it was a cultural event, a meticulously crafted work that blended pop, rock, and R&B with unparalleled brilliance. This was Michael's transformation into a global icon, a shift observed by billions as he ascended to stratospheric levels of fame. Thriller was propelled by groundbreaking music videos that were cinematic masterpieces in their own right. The short films for Billie Jean, Beat It, and especially Thriller revolutionized the nascent MTV generation, turning music videos into an essential art form. Michael's unparalleled dancing, storytelling, and visual flair captivated audiences worldwide, breaking racial barriers on a predominantly white channel and making him a truly global figure. Thriller earned Michael Jackson 8 Grammy Awards in one night, including Album of the Year, a monumental achievement. It holds the record for the best-selling album of all time, with an estimated 70 million copies sold worldwide. For a brief, dazzling period, Michael Jackson was not just a musician, he was the center of the cultural universe, a force of nature that reshaped entertainment. This success brought unimaginable scrutiny alongside adoration. As his fame exploded, so did the public's fascination with Michael's evolving appearance. Beginning in the mid-1980s, his skin tone noticeably lightened, and his facial features underwent significant changes. While Michael publicly attributed his skin color change to vitiligo, a condition causing loss of pigmentation, and cosmetic alterations to addressing breathing issues, the changes fueled relentless speculation and tabloid frenzy, casting a new shadow on his public image. In 1987, Michael Jackson released Bad, another commercial and critical triumph. The album produced a record 5 #1 singles and further cemented his status as the king of pop. The accompanying Bad World Tour was an unprecedented global spectacle, playing to millions of fans across continents. Michael's influence was now undeniable, reaching every corner of the globe, solidifying his reign as the most dominant entertainer on the planet. Beyond the dazzling performances, Michael Jackson was deeply committed to humanitarian causes. Through his Heal the World Foundation, he supported children's charities, fought against poverty, and promoted environmental awareness. He used his immense platform to bring attention to global issues, funding numerous projects and visiting hospitals and orphanages worldwide. His dedication to philanthropy often went overlooked amidst the swirling narratives of his personal life. The 1991 album Dangerous marked another evolution in Michael's sound, incorporating elements of new jack swing and industrial rhythms, producing hits like Black or White and Remember the Time. The album's themes often touched on social commentary and racial harmony, reflecting a more mature and introspective artist. Dangerous continued his streak of chart-topping success, proving his adaptability and continued relevance in a rapidly changing music landscape. In 1988, Michael Jackson purchased a sprawling ranch in Santa Barbara County, California, transforming it into Neverland Ranch, a private amusement park and sanctuary named after Peter Pan's fictional home. It featured a zoo, amusement rides, and a movie theater, intended as a place where Michael, and especially children, could recapture a lost childhood. Neverland became both a symbol of his whimsical nature and, later, a focal point of intense controversy and public scrutiny. The idyllic image of Neverland was shattered in 1993 when Michael Jackson was accused of child sexual abuse by 13-year-old Jordan Chandler. The allegations sent shockwaves across the globe, initiating a highly publicized criminal investigation and an intense media circus. Michael vehemently denied the claims, but the accusations deeply scarred his public image and marked the beginning of a relentless cycle of legal battles and public scrutiny that would plague him for the rest of his life. Despite denying any wrongdoing, Michael Jackson eventually reached an out-of-court civil settlement with the Chandler family for an undisclosed sum, reported to be around $15 to $25 million. His legal team advised him that a trial would be too damaging, regardless of the outcome, due to the intense media spotlight. This settlement, while resolving the civil suit, fueled further public speculation and suspicion, creating a narrative that would prove almost impossible to escape. In 1995, Michael released History, Past, Present and Future, Book I, a double album featuring a compilation of his greatest hits and a disc of new material. The album's themes often addressed the media's unfair treatment and his personal struggles. Despite its critical reception being mixed, History was a massive commercial success, demonstrating his enduring fanbase even amidst personal turmoil. It was a defiant statement, asserting his narrative. During this tumultuous period, Michael Jackson entered into a highly publicized marriage with Lisa Marie Presley, daughter of Elvis Presley, in 1994. The union was seen by many as an attempt to legitimize his image, though both maintained it was a genuine love. Their relationship was constantly scrutinized by the media, a short-lived, intense affair that ended in divorce in 1996, further fueling the public's fascination with his unconventional private life. In 1996, Michael married Debbie Rowe, a dermatological nurse he met through his dermatologist. Together, they had two children, Prince Michael Joseph Jackson Jr., born in 1997, and Paris Michael Catherine Jackson, born in 1998. Michael cherished his role as a father, a private joy often overshadowed by the relentless public glare. Later, his third child, Prince Michael Blanket Jackson II, was born via a surrogate in 2002, keeping his family life largely out of the spotlight. Released in 2001, Invincible was Michael Jackson's final studio album of new material. While it debuted at #1 and sold millions worldwide, it couldn't replicate the monumental success of his earlier works. Troubled by a dispute with Sony Music and overshadowed by emerging musical trends, the album marked a period of declining commercial dominance for Michael, though his artistry remained potent. The era of undeniable chart supremacy had begun to wane. The early 2000s saw a resurgence of media scrutiny, particularly with the release of two documentaries, Living with Michael Jackson, 2003, and Michael Jackson's Private Home Movies, 2003. While Michael participated in the former, it presented a portrayal that sparked widespread controversy, depicting his unconventional lifestyle and further raising public concern about his interactions with children. These documentaries amplified existing doubts, intensifying the microscope under which he lived. In 2003, Michael Jackson was again accused of child sexual abuse, this time by Gavin Arvizo. The subsequent criminal trial in 2005 became a global media spectacle, dissecting every aspect of his life, his finances, and his Neverland Ranch. The prosecution presented numerous witnesses, while the defense argued for his innocence, portraying him as a compassionate and misunderstood figure. The weight of the world watched as the jury deliberated his fate. On June 13, 2005, after a grueling trial and weeks of deliberation, Michael Jackson was acquitted on all 10 counts against him. The verdict was met with a mixture of relief and disbelief worldwide. Despite the legal victory, the trial had irrevocably damaged his reputation and finances. The media's portrayal had taken its toll, leaving a deep chasm between his artistic legacy and the public perception of his personal life, a wound that would never fully heal. Following the acquittal, Michael Jackson largely retreated from public life, moving abroad for a period. The extensive legal battles had depleted his vast fortune, and he faced significant financial difficulties. Neverland Ranch, once his sanctuary, became a burden and was eventually sold. The king of pop, once untouchable, now found himself navigating a quieter, more isolated existence, grappling with the aftermath of relentless scrutiny and personal costs. In March 2009, Michael Jackson announced a series of 50 comeback concerts titled This Is It, to be held at the O2 Arena in London. The demand for tickets was astronomical, selling out in record time, proving his enduring appeal. These concerts were meant to be his grand return to the stage, a chance to reclaim his legacy and address his financial woes. Rehearsals began, showing a renewed energy and determination, promising a spectacular show. Tragically, Michael Jackson would never perform This Is It. On June 25, 2009, just weeks before the first scheduled concert, he died at his Los Angeles home at the age of 50. The cause was an overdose of propofol, administered by his personal physician, Dr. Conrad Murray. The world was plunged into mourning, a collective grief for an artist whose influence was immeasurable, and whose life ended under such sudden and devastating circumstances. Michael Jackson's death sparked an outpouring of grief and tributes from across the globe. Fans gathered in impromptu memorials, and his music saw a massive resurgence in sales. His passing reminded the world of his unparalleled contributions to music, dance, and popular culture. The controversies that defined his later years briefly faded, replaced by a universal recognition of his artistic genius and the profound impact he had on generations of artists and listeners. Posthumously, footage from his This Is It rehearsals was compiled into a concert film, released in October 2009. The film offered a poignant glimpse into the preparations for what would have been his final performances, showcasing his dedication, creative vision, and unwavering talent even in his final weeks. It became a global box office success, allowing millions to witness the magic he was preparing to unleash, a bittersweet farewell from the king of pop. Michael Jackson's musical legacy is undeniable. He blurred the lines between genres, blending pop, soul, R&B, rock, and funk into a singular, irresistible sound. His innovative production techniques, unforgettable melodies, and pioneering use of music videos set new benchmarks for the industry. He inspired countless artists and continues to influence contemporary music, proving his impact extends far beyond his lifetime. Beyond his voice, Michael Jackson was a master of movement. His dance moves, the moonwalk, the lean, the spins, the crotch grab, became iconic, recognizable worldwide, and deeply integrated into global pop culture. He transformed live performance, combining intricate choreography with raw showmanship, pushing the boundaries of what a pop star could achieve on stage. His physical artistry was as revolutionary as his musical output. Michael Jackson's cultural impact was truly global. He broke down racial barriers, became a symbol of unity, and captivated audiences from every background. His music resonated deeply, tackling themes of love, social justice, and self-belief. His image, his style, his sound, all became synonymous with an era, forever etched into the collective consciousness of humanity. He was not just an entertainer, he was a cultural phenomenon. Despite his immense artistic achievements, the controversies surrounding Michael Jackson's personal life continue to shadow his legacy. The allegations, the trials, and the public scrutiny have created a complex and often polarizing narrative that persists to this day. His supporters argue he was a victim of media sensationalism and greed, while critics maintain doubts about his character. This unresolved tension remains a significant part of his story. Regardless of personal opinion or the ongoing debates, Michael Jackson's artistic voice remains clear and powerful. His music transcends time, continuing to sell millions of records, stream billions of times, and inspire new generations. From the raw talent of a boy in Gary to the global superstar, his journey was unlike any other, a testament to the transformative power of art. His songs continue to touch hearts, move feet, and challenge perceptions. Michael Jackson's life was a narrative of extremes: extreme talent, extreme fame, extreme wealth, and extreme scrutiny. He was a paradox, a shy, gentle soul who commanded stadiums, a man who sought childhood innocence while living in the most adult of worlds. His story is a poignant reminder of the burdens of genius and celebrity, and the enduring human desire for connection and understanding amidst the glare of the global spotlight. Decades after his first steps onto a stage, and years after his untimely death, Michael Jackson remains an irreplaceable figure in the fabric of popular culture. His music videos are studied, his dance moves are imitated, and his songs are celebrated. He was, and always will be, the king of pop, a legend born from humble beginnings, whose journey through fame and adversity forged a legacy that truly lives forever, echoing through every beat and every melody.